Hello everyone, welcome to Golden Nova's First Reacts, where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first, as long as I'm the first person you come to react to things first. The final archetype of the Justice Hunter triad has finally been revealed after all this time. And it's cops. I might not have a chance to say this in the video itself, but remember, this is an ACAB channel, but they're cards. We'll talk about them. We let S-Force in here. We might as well give these a second chance with Canines. Let's take a look at number 17, Izuna, level 5 Earth Warrior monster. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. During the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or the graveyard this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can send a Canine card from your deck to the grave, except a copy of this card. So, it can foolish stuff, so we can expect some graveyard setup. We can normal summon it if our opponent has more than 1 card in hand, 2 or more. But, if they've activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, you can special summon it from your hand instead. So, this has turn 0 plays. That's a pretty strong start. Interesting. And I suppose if we're starting with level 5, then that's going to be a whole trend going forward. I'm curious to see how all this is going to shape out. Let's go ahead and check out Canine number 66A, Yokaru, a level 5 Dark Aqua monster with 2000 attack, 1900 defense. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. You can reveal this card and one other level 5 monster in your hand to special summon both, but they cannot be used as material for the Xyz summon of a light monster. I guess they didn't want people doing Artifact Durandal? During your main phase, you can add a non-aqua Canine monster from your deck to your hand. Oh, so it just searches you a different Canine once per turn. Okay. That's pretty slick. It doesn't apply any downside to you. Just the monsters cannot be used for the Xyz summon of a light monster. This is kind of whack. This is pretty wackadoodle. Canine number 66B, Lantern, level 5 Dark Pyro monster. Oh, Pyro and Aqua, wow. They go together, no way. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. If this card is in your hand, you can target a non-Pyro level 5 Canine monster in your graveyard and special summon it and this card, but they cannot be used as material for the Xyz summon of a light monster. We've got to check our rank 5 lights. This is wild. So Yokaru summons 2 of them from hand, whereas Lantern can summon itself from the hand and the other one from the graveyard. So that's pretty slick. And then during your main phase, you can add a Canine spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, so we have a lot of searchability in this deck. We're sending to graveyard, we're adding monsters, we're adding spells and traps. This is a ridiculous start. Canine number 00, Lupus. Oh, folks, it's Lupus. We finally found it. Level 5 Earth Beast Warrior monster. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. A different first effect. During the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard this turn as a quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Doesn't matter for Xyz monsters, though. During your opponent's turn, you can, as a quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon using this card that you control, especially when you can do it whenever you want. And an Xyz monster that has this card as material gains this effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Hey, sweet. Quick Xyz summon. Easy to bring out as long as your opponent's activated a monster effect in a bad zone. This is shaping up to be pretty good. This is shaping up to be really, really good. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next tab. Canine 17 Ripper. Rank 5 Wind Beast Warrior Xyz effect monster requiring any 2 level 5 monsters as material. 2300 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use the second and first effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can detach a material from this card to add a Canine card from your deck to your hand. Then, if your opponent activated a monster effect of this turn anywhere, you can set a Canine quick play spell card from your deck or graveyard. When your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand as a quick effect, You can attach one material from this card to negate that effect. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't negate the activation, it negates the effect. Which should be... Yeah, this checks for activation, and this checks for activation. So because it doesn't negate the activation, you can negate their in-hand activation with Ripper, and then you still get... It still counts as them having activated. Very funny. Okay, so our rank 5 gets us another search. Potentially a quick play spell card if our opponent has... I can't say committed a crime, because obviously that's the energy that they're going for here, but Magic the Gathering literally just had a set recently where committing crimes was a mechanic, so we can't quite say that. If your opponent has violated the law, you get a free card out of it. Okay, so it's hand or grave negation, and it's more searching. Cool stuff. Canine 00 Hound, rank 5. So they're making it so you can't make this guy with our Aqua and Pyro. It's got 2,500 attack and defense. 2 level 5 monsters as material. It cannot be destroyed by a battle or your opponent's card effects the turn it's special summoned. Each time your opponent activates a monster effect, this card gains 500 attack when that effect resolves. And once per turn during the standby phase, you can detach a material from this card, then target a card on the field and banish it. Okay. So, because we have a quick Xyz summon card from Lupus, this can be activated during our opponent's turn. If it has some kind of board wipe, we make it with this, and then it can be destroyed by their effect. I believe Lupus also said it can't be targeted? If it's under something's material? Yeah, it cannot target this card with card effects. Sick nasty. So Hound has the whole protection racket. Continues growing in attack power, because none of these effects are hard once per turn. So whenever they activate a monster effect anywhere, this gets a 500 point boost, and then every turn it's allowed to stay on the field, you're banishing a card. Okay. Wild that they don't let you just use some of your best cards to make this, though. What? So they just want you to use Lupus and... Not Ripper, but the first one. The... Izuna. Yeah, they just want you to use Izuna and Hound to make that. And then I guess they want you to use the other two to make Ripper, even though this is Ripper. Like, that's the base form, right? I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking here. Okay, Canine EX Werewolf, rank 9 Light Beast Warrior Xyz monster. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, while this card has material, it can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of material attached to it. Okay. When your opponent activates a card or effect as a quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, then activate this effect based on whose turn it is. If it's your turn, banish a card your opponent controls and or one card from their graveyard. And or. So we can get 2. If you do this during your opponent's turn, look at your opponent's hand and banish one card from it face up until the end phase. So if they activate something during your own turn, you rip 2 cards out of there. If they activate something during their own turn, yeah, you get perfect hand knowledge because you get to look and then lock them out of one of their cards. It's a hard one, so you can't spam it multiple times, but it does give you knowledge, and it does keep your opponent off of a particular combo piece if they can't get it activated in time. That's pretty gnarly. That's pretty gnarly. Now, it is a rank 9, so I'm not sure how this fits in with the rest of the theme, but we have a bunch of other support to look at, and that is on the next page. Let's go ahead and take a look at Canine LC Liberation. Quick play spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target one Canine Xyz monster or a rank 5 Xyz monster that you control. Special summon a Canine Xyz monster with a different name from your extra deck by using that monster you control as material. This is treated as an Xyz summon, and you transfer materials to the summoned monster. At the end of the battle phase, if your Canine monster battled this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. Oh, so we can just keep bringing this back over and over again. Okay, so this is how we get into the light monsters. Even if we use our Pyro and our Aqua one to go into Ripper, we can then use LC Liberation to transform it into Hound, or we can transform it into EX Werewolf, because this does not care which one we transform it into. It just targets a Canine Xyz or a rank 5. We can even rank down if we want to. We're just going to transfer the Xyz material over. So that's pretty cool. We have a reusable rank around magic spell. Okay. Canine EX Forced Liberation. Quick play spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. During the main phase, you can target a Canine Xyz monster that you control. Special summon a Canine Xyz monster with a different name from your extra deck by using that monster you control as material. This is treated as an Xyz summon, transfers material to the summoned monster. Then you can destroy one card your opponent controls. And at the end of the battle phase, if your Canine monster battled this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. Okay. LC Liberation can be activated at any time. Forced Liberation only activates during the main phase. So, we'll want to use this one early on to clear the board, get our thing set up, and then use LC Liberation in the battle phase to quick swap to get even more attacks in. So, we are also looking at our El Shaddai fusion. Very funny stuff. Okay. Presumably our last card here, Canine EW Experimental Liberation. Normal trap card, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Special summon a Canine monster from your hand or graveyard. Then you can special summon a Canine Xyz monster from your extra deck by using the first monster as material. The second special summon is treated as an Xyz summon, but destroy the second monster during the end phase of the next turn. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Canine quick play spell card from your graveyard and set it. So it says a different Canine card. Okay. Yeah, so this one just gets us a Canine really quickly. Now, it will be destroyed during the end phase of the next turn, but if we use one of our quick play spell cards to transfer it into a different one, then we get to keep it. So, okay. Okay. This is interesting. Let's check the Japanese site really quickly. I want to double check and make sure. Okay, yeah, we're looking at everything. Here's some of the reprints we can expect. More rank 5. Level 5 monsters help make our rank 5s. A couple of not light Xyz monsters that are light, and then specifically a light rank 5 monster that you can't make with that. Though Vamana is pretty good. I do enjoy it. Okay, so what are we looking at here? So obviously we're looking to punish our opponent for activating monster effects in places that aren't the field. So hand or graveyard, if they use a hand trap, if they discard a monster to search for something, if they have a floating effect, we want them to do these things. Izuna sending cards to graveyard. This is pretty good because this will set up, it gives us a target for a Lantern. It puts Lupus in our graveyard so that we can summon it later, and it also puts our quick play spells into the graveyard so that they can be reset at a later date. So, Izuna? I got that correct. Izuna, pretty good. Pretty good card to have in the deck. Yokaru and Lantern are just unironically really strong. They get us free material, and even though we have that weird anti-light restriction, that has to be something beyond this archetype because of how easy it is to access our own in archetype light ones, because the spells and traps that you're searching with Lantern are literally the quick play cards that are going to get you out of stuff. Heck, you could go what is it? These ones? Yeah, you can use LC Liberation to take one of those rank 5s that you made and turn it into a Canine. Another important thing about LC Liberation is that this allows you to take generic rank 5s and turn them into Canines. Forced Liberation only lets you turn Canines into other Canines. So, very important distinctions here. Largely serves similar goals, but there's some important stuff between them. And then Yokaru getting you another monster is, of course, cracked. Lupus is crazy, like, quick rank 5s. There's got to be some other rank 5s out there that would be really silly to have access to at the drop of a hat. There for sure has to be. I can't think of them off the top of my head, and I don't think we all want to sit around me perusing the rank 5 list to see what the best options are. Unless you want to? I don't know. I mean, I'll show you if you want to see it, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say that you've already got a few of those brewing here. But really good. Quick summon, quick Xyz summon, gives great targeting protection. To any Xyz monster, any rank 5 that you make with this has targeting protection, so it's even easier to make make whatever they want to happen. Our Xyz monsters are pretty good. Ripper is a negate for those effects that we're looking to punish them for. It's another search, so we can keep compounding stuff together. This searches a Canine card from our deck, so we can get the rank up spell, so that we can literally just turn this into Hound or Werewolf, either or. There was no, like, it didn't care about restrictions for anything. And notably, this is a generic rank 9, so, you know, for all your decks that love level 9 monsters, generators, have fun with that. This is pretty good. Like, Hound is kind of nasty. If you give it targeting protection, it complements the for the turn protection effects on here. I can't highlight the text because it's a freaking image file. It's got passive removal. It gets stronger. Werewolf is cracked. These are really strong too. Yeah. And there's no restrictions on any of these. As far as I could tell, or as far as I remember from any of these, the only restriction we had were that these two cannot be used to make Light Xyz monsters. Oh no, the heavens fall around us for such a limitation. Holy cow, this deck might be doing something. We'll see. Once I make the video on canines, we'll use the tech pick section to see what all the best rank 5s are that you can make with them. See if there's anything that really stands out, especially ones that you can drop at quick speed using Lupus. Especially ones that get better if you can't target them, like if you make them with Lupus. This is... yeah. I dig the mechanical design here. This is really cool. A lot of stuff going on here. Some of it's maybe a little unfair. I don't know if I would call this entirely a fair archetype. I guess it doesn't help that, like, some of these cards just don't work if our opponent does not activate monster effects in the appropriate places. And we are living in 2025, and mulch armies exist everywhere, so, you know, maybe I'm making nothing out of nothing here. But, you know, Triple Tactics Talent is the worst card ever printed for a reason. And it does look like we have a couple more cards that are reliant in a similar way. So thank God we have Lantern and Yokaru to help fix all of that. But that's basically all I've got to say on the matter. Take a look for these ones. Between Yummy and Dragon Tail, I hate to say it, I think Dragon Tail is actually the worst out of all of them. And I think it remains to be seen how this matches up against Yummy, because that's got a lot of hype behind it. But I think that Canine has a lot less moving pieces that need to be in the right place to make it work. A lot less points to ruin interaction. And, notably, does not have its highest plays rely on a normal spell card that you can only play when you have an empty board that also locks you into beasts. Very important thing. Obedient Schooled, very strong card. You don't need that with this deck. Though, of course, if you don't get Yokaru or Lantern, then you got a bit of a problem. Though you can normal summon them. They plugged in the thing where you can normal summon them. You know, is our opponent going to choose to keep one or less cards in hand just because they know you're on Canine? I don't know. I don't know if they will. All right. Well, oh, is that the same background? That's the same background on these two. Wild. Okay, is like one coming after the other? We'll see. Sorry. Oh no. No, those are all the same background. What? Wait. What? Why do they all have the same background? I mean, that makes for a cool effect and all. Does this happen on any other ones? Sorry, folks. I need a second. I had a little... Okay, so no, that doesn't happen on any of the other ones. Why do all of these have the same background? I mean, this one has all the light taken out of it, so something's going wrong here. Something's bad. Okay, sorry, my apologies. I was going on a spiel. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. What are you looking forward to use with Canine, or maybe splash with them? I don't know. Let me know. Tell me your thoughts, and until next time, Konami drops some juicy spoilers. I will see all of you next time. Bye-bye. Today's episode is brought to you by Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales that even come with their own lore, and save 5% on your order by using the coupon code GoldenNova at checkout. It was also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commanders, Upstairs Media, and Cernite JCB, Nebula Navigators, 3rd Dynasty, 50 Gigabytes, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Ancient Wizard, Andrew Newman, Battle Axe, Kane Senpai, Charlie Mercury, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Comrade Copperbottom, Eric, Frankie, Garland Chaos, Green Knight, Great Big Pillock, Hair Bear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Carp, Marion James E. Picata, Mike Cook, Millennia Asta, Muse Clark, Neon Yaminair, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Bat Boos, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sonic 21 Blast, The Critic of Innocence, Thievery Coast and the Wizard Moose, Cosmic Crusaders Ally Vania, Animasta, Anthrak, Baden Von Titty Sprinkles, Beluga Masta, Blitzwolf, Chaz Ghost, Chris B, Dr. Entity RIP, Eva Padilla, Hike Boyagian, Herbal D, Inblink, Kale the Dragon, Lobomaru 02, Manga Pages, Natiel Lee Alexander, Night Trummo, Not Al Gore, Nyx, Obsidian, Pombo, Rain, Rhyme Kairos, Schwenny, Shizuki Nijimura, Sophie, apparently, Sphilia, Stephen Williamson, The Legendary Raven, The Phantom Knights of Shitted Pants, The Gene, Tiger X2476, Weasel King of Weaseltown, Zaldreka and Zero Day Nova, as well as all the lovely Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, be a part of these credits and other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you would check out the link to my Patreon in the description or consider joining here as a YouTube member. Even a single dollar means the world to me and honestly helps me a lot more than YouTube ad rev.